Welcome to the video overview of the Easy Auto Spinner. Let's go ahead and jump right in and show you how simple this is to use. This is not your standard old-fashioned style where you will have to enter any type of information in other than choosing your article directory, your source, and your output folder. And we have a built-in dictionary that will spin the articles for you. And like I said, it's all on automatic and does a really good job, taking a lot of tender loving care to get this to output very good articles. So the first thing you want to do, of course, this is 2011. These are some older articles here that I just chose. And of course, I chose my output folder. And what we got to do is let's cover a little bit of information over here. On your spin settings, the synonyms here. Okay, you can go anywhere from 1 to 40%. Okay, 40%, you're going to end up with an article that's not, it's really not going to be readable by a human and make very much sense. You can use it on a search engine, and we've chosen not to go over 40%. It just doesn't do any good. Okay, and what we like to do is somewhere between 5 and 10% is really a good area to stay. You can experiment and see what they do for you, but I suggest right around the 10% there. Go ahead and try at different levels. Of course, you can uncheck and not use it at all. And if you just uncheck it and leave the translator method, what happens is it will go ahead and translate it into like a European language and translate it back. And it actually comes up with some pretty good articles there. I have been very happy with it, and I want you to see how it works here. I'm going to go ahead and do the checkbox here. I'm going to leave this at 1. Of course, you can go all the way. It would translate it over to another language, back to another language, or I should say back to the English language, and then back again. Okay, like another European language, and then back to English. And same thing would go 3 times. It would do it 3 times. And for the most part, you can leave it set at 1. Again, go ahead and try at different levels. And you can also choose not to. Go ahead and do that. And what you'll do is, and I will point out, the more that you do this, so, if you go up to 2, the longer it's going to take to spin the articles also. One other note on the synonym dictionary, really, you'll find some that just, they actually will choose one online and use like an API to communicate with it. And you end up with so much garbage, and we didn't do it here. We've actually, after years of experimenting with different article readers and spinners and everything, we've just found that you go ahead and build your own little dictionary and get the most common used words. You end up with a lot better articles. Let's go ahead and do a spin. You'll notice we're working here. You're going to do article 1 of 25, and you're going to see that you got 1,770 words there when you do it 10%. If you were actually going to move it down to 5%, then it would have been about half of that, 500 or whatever, so many words, 600 words, whatever. So it takes longer the more you go up. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it while it's doing this, and we'll come back here and I'll show you some articles. Okay, now we've let it run all the way through. And let's see what we ended up with on our synonym spun articles here. Now here are the auto spun articles. And let's see, let's get one open. We'll just go with the first one. There is the auto spun. Let's go with, here are the original old PLL articles that I got. Let's close that. And you will see here, that's kind of what they look like. You can still see they're very easy to read. This right here is the auto spun, and this one is the original one. So it actually has changed it around, and you can see it has by reading over it there. And it still makes sense. So that's a really good way to go ahead when you get your PL articles. There's so many membership sites and people out there selling articles. You can respin them and make them unique to yourself a little bit. and go ahead and start making money. You can even resell these or whatever you want to do. There's no restrictions on what you can do with the articles after you respin them. So that right there is the best part of the actual software. Thanks for watching this video about Easy Auto Spinner, and have a great day.